What's up, guys? It's your favorite douchebag, Bryson Banks. Welcome back to Douchebags Anonymous. Last week, we launched it off. We've had over 170 downloads so far. This week, episode 2, we have Danny Mullen and Leo Dottavio on. They're huge on YouTube, like blowing up. They're also incredible comedians and good dudes, solid, recovered douchebags. We talk about our douchey stories. We talk about Leo's time on the Bachelorette. We talk about their hilarious videos they're always posting. We talk about how Danny's a purple belt beast in jiu-jitsu and popped my rib. We don't talk about that, but he did. He popped my rib before a competition. And yeah, I lost the first match. And I blame Danny, even though it was an accident. One day I'll be good enough to pop his rib back. No, I won't. I won't do that. And it was an accident, so... Oh, I've hit up exes for the last episode, mostly to no responses, and one of them even blocked me, so this is going to be harder than I thought. If you haven't already, please go on Apple and rate the podcast. And if it's anything less than 5 stars, then don't go on Apple and rate the podcast. But if it's 5 stars and you're my friend and you're not my friend, or you're watching this and you're like, did I rate it? Did I not? Go look, rate the podcast. Thank you, because that helps. November 10th and 11th, I am in San Diego at the Laugh Factory for the Marine Corps birthday and Veterans Day. We have 2 killer shows with monster lineups. I'm so stoked. November 13th, I'm at the Comedy Store. I'm co-producing a show with my friend Margot. It's a Veterans Day show as well. And my buddy Josh Francis is even flying in from Texas to be on the show. He's a Marine vet as well. And it's going to be a sick show. So you're coming. And if you're not coming, maybe your man hasn't read She Comes First, which we talk about in this episode. So do you have anything you want to say?
No.
Would you like to give a book review of She Comes First?
No. No way.
Would
Not publicly.
All right, would you give it 1 to 5 stars? What would you give the book?
5 stars.
5 stars. Wow.
For sure 5 stars.
Oh, for sure 5 stars. How many stars have you seen since I've read the book? See, I just relapsed right there. I relapsed on my girlfriend. This is where I relapse most. Doing these intros with my girlfriend is when I am the douchiest that I've ever been in a very long time. All right, guys, check out this episode. It's going to be sick.
Are we rolling right now?
I mean, it's on, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and She Comes First.
She comes
She
first.
comes
man.
first. That's the main thing that we're going to be dealing with on this podcast today.
It shepherded him out of douchebaggery.
Dude, game changer of a book.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I read it. And then, or actually, what inspired you to read it?
Ooh, I don't remember. It's been about 8 years, and I'm due for a reread because I haven't been satisfying women lately. I remember I read that, and I read 50 Shades of Grey back to back. And for a period of about 3 months, while all those ideas were in my head bouncing around, I was an incredible lover.
Hell yeah.
Wow. I think I got my love-making ideas mostly from movies where Latinos played ladies' men, like Don Juan DeMarco or Johnny Depp plays a ladies' man. He alluded to the fact that he loved eating pussy a bunch of times during the course of that.
Well, that part didn't stick for you.
It didn't as much as it should.
You don't love eating pussy?
No, it's not that I don't love it. I don't. The right pussy. There you go. I don't randomly eat pussy that much. It's got to be a girl that we're in LA for God's sake.
100%.
Tell the story about when a girl tried to get you to go down on her, and you said no,
Yeah.
and she kicked you out of the house.
I was as I stroked this pussy over here. I was in. Wow, that's a cute cat, man. I had a
So it's an opportunity.
It was so soft. So I got a fucking story about. Yeah, it's a quick one, but girl, I take her home from the bar. Me and my boy, we take these girls from a bar in North Hollywood. I'm maybe like 27, and she gives me a nice blowjob. You know, as soon as we get into her room, just goes to town. It's nice. I finish up, and then she goes, "All right, your turn." And I go, "Excuse what?" She goes,
What did you say? I hear that.
well, excuse me. She goes, well, I think it's your turn to eat my pussy. And I go, I don't really do that with girls I don't know. You know? So she says, oh, okay, well, get the fuck out.
No way.
That's all she said for the next 3 times. She goes, get the fuck out again. And then I go, are you serious? She goes, yeah, get the fuck out. And I go, okay, my bad. I just go out and I just left.
Well, I mean, the first red flag was North Hollywood.
Yeah, you're right. I should have known. And yeah, and it was like a shady, like we went to her apartment was like in Van Nuys, dude.
Oh shit.
So yeah, it was shady.
I don't know if I feel much more comfortable eating a girl's pussy who lived in Hollywood.
Dude, that's where most of the STD, the bad ones, apparently, according to Planned Parenthood, come from Hollywood.
Yo,
Absolutely.
I see those billboards too. It's like like resistant gonorrhea, like all kinds of shit.
So let's talk about this, because when I was in my heyday of anonymous sex, myself and a lot of my buddies didn't wear a lot of condoms, and it didn't seem like there were a lot of consequences. But now, like since I moved to LA in the last 6 years, I've heard a lot about people getting herpes.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Like so I took human sexuality in college, and like beginning of community college, and at the time, it's probably even higher now, 1 in 5 sexually active people from the ages of 15 to 24 have herpes. 1 in 2 have HPV. HPV is the most common. There's vaccinations for it, for the bad strands that cause all kinds of cancers.
I get 1 shot of HPV vaccine, and I didn't get any of the boosters. So I don't know if I can get like
You actually got a shot for it?
a mild case of warts. Yes, but I didn't finish the vaccination, so I'm not sure like where I stand.
Yeah, I just got contracted HPV and was like, oh, cool.
It's sort of like catching coronavirus.
So many guys have.
Some argue immunity, natural immunity is better.
Yeah.
For sure.
But one thing, HSV though, there's HSV1 and HSV2. The stat you might be referring to is oral herpes, which almost everybody has.
I'm referring to genital.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually, I learned in that class that you can if you have oral herpes and you go down on a girl, and you have a blister, it can transfer to the genitals.
I've heard of that too from the sex therapist that was on our podcast.
Yeah.
She told me that misnomer because I wrote something on my story, something like about how that can't happen, but it's, apparently yes, you can get if you get blown has herpes on the lip. You can have herpes at the cock.
Why are you pointing at me?
I'm just saying, dude.
It's a hobby of mine. Also, why did you post this like sexual PSA about herpes on your story? I think out of character.
You did?
It was out of character. I don't know. I was feeling myself that day.
Dude, okay. So you don't need to read She Comes First because the whole book is the eating pussy. Like,
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the most important thing to do for a woman, guys. I'm asking.
It's the best way to get them off because like over 80% of women need clitoral stimulation to climax. And so I was already like well versed. I won like a little booklet from that human sexuality course, and I felt good. But then I met my girlfriend, and she was on like heavy medication for it's not ADD, but ADHD. So, and that can affect so she had never even had an orgasm.
Damn.
So we got her off the medication, and I still couldn't get like this safe. And I read that book and finally gave her like 3 orgasms in a row. Yeah,
Let's go, dude.
Yeah,
it's the build-up, right? Was it the build-up? What you saying?
it's the buildup, but like there's something about that medication and the high dosage she was taking it. Like a lot of people couldn't climax because of that medication.
Can you come on the old Addies like in Vegas and during your binge?
Adderall's tough. If you guys want to talk, it is douchebags anonymous. We can talk about that. But having a girlfriend who's never had an orgasm is sort of like having a girlfriend as a virgin. I love that. Dude.
It was awesome.
You love it.
I love it.
You've had that before?
Well, dude, I mean, who wants a girlfriend who tells you like, yeah, my ex-boyfriend used to make me come like a fucking fountain?
You're right,
Like,
dude.
that's amazing. I would love it.
Are we idiots? Do girls just know that that's not what they're supposed to say, and they just tell us?
Usually women who I've been with,
She certainly hadn't, because like, dude, I had my time and like well versed and like no, she hadn't. So, but she's coming now, but she lost her job because she's off her medication.
Okay.
She lost her job?
No.
Oh, I was like, what was that?
I was taking that seriously. I was like, well,
She got
at least she's
fired?
coming, man.
She was just bagging groceries, been having too many orgasms at Rayleigh's.
I love that you think my girlfriend bag grocery.
Dude, it's hilarious. Hey, it's a great job nowadays, you know? Honestly.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Better than most jobs out there.
It's maybe the most replaceable job there is. Self-checkout being the poacher,
Yeah.
the grocery bagger.
Yeah.
It's a great job. It's like it's possibly the most irrelevant job in the U.S. economy.
You know, but then there's people that work at warehouses. We deal with a lot of those guys. Amazon, you know, like they're putting those people that can't bag groceries. I think it's a second tier of job, honestly, because those people that we know that work at warehouses, they can't bag groceries in a store. They could never.
They're not presentable enough.
Wait,
No, they're not.
I just know so many people that are in this field.
We deal with a lot of our fans they do work at these warehouses, to be honest.
We also come into contact with a lot of people who are borderline crackheads.
And criminals.
And the only place one can seek gainful employment while battling a drug addiction is like an Amazon warehouse in the Inland Empire.
Correct. It's a lot of people say that they're encouraged to take a little methamphetamine because it does make you work 12 hours straight.
It's our YouTube
prevalent.
channel. We come into contact with a lot of people on the fringes of society. That's why we know these warehouse employees.
That's fucking wild. Also, I love so I want to touch on your guys' videos that you do. From the outside, it's like, oh, they could be perceived as douche, but when you really look at them, it's like you're doing these extreme things, but you're also highlighting like social issues, which I love.
Yeah.
Like the fentanyl one in the subway.
Yeah.
God, that was hilarious. And you're playing the violin, you're like, that's a Stradivarius.
Stradivarius,
Stradivarius, dude. And I didn't even know what that was. And I looked it up, and they're like the best violins.
Or $15 million for Stradivarius violin. Basically, down in the LA subways, fentanyl addicts go down there because you can light up a fentanyl pipe and there's no wind to blow away the powder. They're really worried about that. So that's why they're all congregating down in the subways. And it's out of the sun. You can nod off. You can pretend you're doing something by getting on a train so authority figures won't hassle you. But we went down there to show this because there's been so many incidents of commuters getting assaulted by fentanyl addicts, or in some cases actually killed by fentanyl addicts. So we felt it was important to go down there and highlight an issue in LA that's not good. And the way we put a comic twist on that is, since some of the stations are blasting classical music in an effort to scare off the fentanyl addicts, he and I went down there in tuxedos with violins to basically investigate. And at one point, a crack addict or a fentanyl addict swatted your fake violin down and stomped on it. And I made the joke that that was a Stradivarius, buddy. It was $15 million.
He was a fentanyl addict, that guy too, for sure.
He was drunk.
He was completely hammered on a Four Loko, and it was I don't know, like it was early. It was like 11 a.m. and he was having a kind of a gnarly conversation with his father on the phone. So
Holy shit.
He didn't want much of anybody being around him, I guess. But Danny, he kept playing that song to really kind of rile him up just enough.
I know how to get under a borderline homeless drunk skin, Leo.
You really do. You really do.
That's funny. Also, the other one that I loved that I watched was the NASCAR. You dressed up as like the extreme left, and you went to the extreme right.
Yeah.
And he was given these pretending to give vaccines. In drag.
Yeah.
And then you had to neon belly that dude.
I did. Yeah, I did have the neon belly.
Because you don't look like the badass you are. I do jujitsu with you.
Yeah.
This dude is a fucking beast, and I'm fairly new to jiu-jitsu. I've been doing it under 2 years, but I'm pretty good. Like I
work hard.
I work hard, and like I've tapped a couple black belts, but there's levels within each belt. And Danny is like among the top tier level of a purple belt.
Does it matter who you learn from? Does that
for sure.
So there could be two purple belts, but someone had a better coach.
100%.
Oh, dude,
There's
That's big time.
Yeah, our coach is the best of the best.
he's the best.
Yeah. Our coach, he won the world championships. What was it, 4 times?
He won, so he's the only person to get a Super Grand Slam, which is the 4 biggest IBJJF competitions, gold, all in the same year, and ADCC, which is the one that everyone knows Gordon Ryan.
He did that when he was relatively older too.
Yeah.
He
Now
did when
he's
he was in his 30s.
wealthy from teaching, probably.
Dude, he's making stupid money. Yeah, stupid money. Like I calculated what he makes teaching martial arts monthly, and it came to pretty close to $100K a month.
Oh, probably
Wow,
just from his students or
crazy.
from from all his other schools.
Probably just from his membership fees.
It's funny that teaching in jiu-jitsu is that profitable because, like, I used to go to Wild Card with my pops just as just a bonding experience when I was like in high school and then a little in college. And you'd see this is how most of the boxing coaches are making $5 a round, and they're just training anyone in the gym who's down. So it'd be like these Latino and black dudes mostly, and they'd be like, "Oh, who wants to train? Hit the mitts, $5 a round, man."
Yeah.
That's how they'd just make a few bucks.
Well, it's the difference between being an owner and an employee.
Oh yeah,
true,
like
that's
Freddie
true.
Roach isn't making $5.
Freddie Roach is making. I think hopefully
that's his
10%.
gym, right?
Yeah, it's his gym.
Yeah.
And that's also with our guy. He went out, and the first part of his career, I'm sure he was destitute. When he was out there getting those medals, he probably wasn't making any money.
Right.
His story is actually really inspiring. There's a documentary on our coach about how he was an apprentice baker.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like pastry chef. And he had a son really, really young. Supported his son while making cakes in a bakery and training jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
He's a freak athlete, dude.
Yeah.
Won all these competitions, went through the hardship in his 20s, and then now he's just cashing fat checks in his 30s and 40s because he put in the work and has the credentials.
Insane work ethic, absolutely. And he breaks it down like everything in life's patience, consistency, action in that documentary. And
Just like when you're cooking up profiteroles for some sort of dessert buffet.
what? Hold on.
I think a profiterole.
What is that word?
He used to work in the. He always has his knowledge in the culinary field is pretty crazy because he worked at this restaurant in San Fran that was.
I saw that. You used to wait
Michelin
tables.
Star? It was a Michelin star restaurant.
It wasn't a Michelin star restaurant, but it was right below that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Profiteroles
actually
and pastry.
I have that in here. Danny wrote comedy and books while working as a waiter, and I wanted to hear about that as well.
Yeah, I don't even think I was a waiter. I was a busser and a runner.
Oh shit!
I did
Okay.
for a very small amount of time at a shitty restaurant. I was a server. But yeah, dude, just like anybody else in comedy, our path in comedy has been a little bit atypical. I guess the most traditional route in comedy is you do stand up, and then eventually you get bigger. Maybe you get a writing gig until, I don't know, you are featured on a Netflix variety special, and then someday you get your own special. Our path has been pretty weird, but just like any other comedian, I'll try to talk more directly into the mic.
Oh, no worries.
Just like any other comedian, I mean, I put in my time where I was just fucking totally broke and nobody consumed or cared about my shit, and it was just in the restaurants in San Francisco and Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, you figured it out, man, and you're getting some good spots. Thanks, because you got successful in this one area, and now it's helping you get what you need to build, and you have the work ethic. We talked about it, like it's gonna come, and it's already like coming faster than most.
Yeah. I mean, there's crossover because what we do is there's a lot of the same skills being used as a guy who's doing stand-up. We have to try to be funny in situations where there's a lot of hostility too and people aren't laughing. I mean, when you're doing a bit in a subway in front of a bunch of fucking fentanyl addicts, that's like doing a dog shit nightmare bar gig in stand-up.
Yeah.
So there's crossover.
But there's acting stuff too. I mean, he doesn't know it, but he is quite the actor sometimes as well. I mean, we have to like commit, and like he made me commit to having a failing marriage at the top of the Seattle Space Needle, and so I got drunk and like I was just muttering that my wife was cheating on me and my life was over. They called the ambulance. I had to do it to the paramedics.
Oh, they did call an ambulance.
God.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's wild, man. Yeah, he does. You know, we're up. It's like, I don't know. It feels like a Navy SEAL kind of training for comedy in a way.
It really
doing
is.
doing it out in the open. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the pole climber. I just
thank
watched.
you.
I just watched it before you guys got
That
here.
was
I was
cracking me up, dude.
An Instagram clip.
That was
He
cracking
was
me up.
so mad. He's like
Yeah.
old school conservative.
yeah.
I don't fucking climb poles, dude.
Yeah,
Dude.
we were just driving up. My cameraman and I were on a filming mission, and we were driving up Highway 99, which is a barren Central California highway. And I saw an AT&T telephone pole training class going on
That's
right off the
unbelievable.
freeway. And I told my cameraman, I was like, dude, pull over.
What?
Yeah.
It was
There's-
just impromptu.
Totally impromptu. We're like, there's got to be a bit here.
I wish I was there,
They're
man.
climbing up poles. That's a gay joke. Gay joke. We're doing it. We're going.
Yeah, you called the a cadaver or a cadet or something. You gotta
probably.
fondle the balls when you're up there.
Something like that, dude. Just you get in the zone and you start saying shit just like you do in stand-up.
Yeah.
The great thing though is in the videos you can edit out something.
Yeah.
So there's a lot less fear. Whereas sometimes in stand-up there's now a fear that you're going to say something that's too far and somebody's going to record it and use it against you. Whereas we have total control of the edits in our videos. But also only doing YouTube and being subject to the YouTube terms of service, whereas YouTube will give you a strike if that was too offensive or if you did something that was considered hate speech here. I am really pleasantly surprised by how filthy comedy is in the clubs these days.
Oh, yeah.
And how good of a response it gets.
Yeah, like me, Bryson, you've done the show in West LA with a pretty woke crowd, you could say, but where people are going wild at
Dude,
that show.
if it's funny, it's fucking funny, and like it's the purest art form, I think, and like we're figuring it out ourselves. Like I'm only 6 years into comedy, like. When I tell a joke, all I need is the audience response. Like, I don't need somebody to post a fucking tweet about me. Like, that joke's not done. Like, well, now when it goes to the special, that's a done joke. Then say whatever you want. But if it's funny, man. And the audience tells you if it's funny. Like, I think that's the goal. It should be funny. Like, if you want a social message or political message, do that too. But like, our job is to make people fucking laugh. And you know, I bring my lens, which is like growing up as like hillbilly in middle Oklahoma, like, but was born in California, but it was Bakersfield.
Yeah.
But I would be like, they didn't know it was Bakersfield. I'm from fucking California.
Yeah.
I'm going back as soon as I can.
Yeah, they're like, commie, liberal bitch. They don't realize Bakersfield is redneck as it gets in Cali.
It really, it's like the Oklahoma of California.
It's like Oklahoma.
I'm from a town like that too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You guys have like fan sites, which is dope as fuck. You have subreddits
Respect,
too.
Subreddits.
Oh,
Did you
stay away from that shit.
I looked. Oh my god, that's another. And then if they like it, there's like a hard dick. If they don't like it, there's like a soft dick button.
Nice.
Really?
They
On the
must,
subreddit.
They kind of. That's kind
clever.
of like
That's
a.
funny.
That's something. That's I don't know. That's like saying it's us. That's us.
That
you
is
know?
us.
That's
That's cool.
us.
This dropped last night, and I loved it. It's a Photoshop picture of Leo.
Like that, dude. That's pretty funny, dude. Leo Dottavio. Somebody sent me that, dude.
That looks like if your sisters
Yeah.
got diddled as children and let themselves go.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You have sisters?
I have a couple sisters. Yeah.
They're in great shape, but I could see Leo because you know sometimes. Like, I was just looking up, we did a video where O.J. Simpson was involved. Not physically, but
Really?
the concept of O.J.
The concept.
I Googled his children, and I was like, they're probably going to have a lot of money. This could go either way. They could be
I'm
beautiful,
sure.
or they could be total Nepo babies. They're all obese.
Really?
So I could see Leo just having a fucking obese sister that looked like that.
With a beard, huh?
Yes. 'Cause
They get more testosterone.
Yes.
Yeah, they do get hair on their face. You mean just a grotesque human? Just one of those like where everyone thinks she's special ed just by the way she looks.
Yes. Living on government SSI, like,
Oh my God.
can't feed herself, can
Victim
barely wipe her
mentality.
own ass.
Just victim mentality, complains about everything. Her Twitter is just nuts.
Awful.
And she hates on her brother that was on The Bachelorette.
Yeah. She'd hate on me. Her dad that was on The Bachelorette.
Which is epic as fuck. Also, you had a comment from one of your fans that was like, I hate how they villainized Leo in Bachelors in Paradise or whatever. And I hadn't seen it, but did they make you out to be like a douchebag?
Yeah, Bachelor in Paradise. Yeah, the biggest douchebag of all time. I think I said
So they nailed it.
I think I said I can make out with any girl here. I said that on national TV.
Did they tell you to
Hell
say
yeah,
it?
dude. I can't say that per se because they make you sign a little contract. But I can say that, there's producers. There are producers there, baby, and they like to produce.
They
I
nudge.
tell you,
They nudge them in
they
directions.
like to nudge. I can tell you this though, it's a great job, that producer gig that they have. There was a couple comedians that were pretty big in the LA scene that had that as a gig, and it's fun just messing with people, like really gullible people.
Oh, I bet,
It's
dude.
kind of fun.
It'd be amazing. Just a bunch of airheaded fucking Ken doll hunks.
Dude, and we
just
just
fucking with them.
just fucking with them, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, it was, dude, I was jealous of their fucking job. They
Yeah.
were laughing all day, dude, on the
Yeah.
confessionals, because the confessionals are done like you're just right in front of the camera like this, and they're just right off to the right, and you just be like telling Fan Jerry things to say and stuff. Can you imagine that? It
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
unbelievable.
See,
That's
you
a
asked
pretty
us,
awesome job.
You asked
It
us
would
how
be a
we
great
know
job.
all these idiots that work in warehouses that are half addicted to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
We basically do the producer job on our cast of characters.
Right.
And sometimes it backfires. I mean,
It
sometimes,
can backfire,
like
yeah.
Leo, they told him to go do some shit in The Bachelorette. He ended up throwing a drink at a guy.
Yeah.
Last night, a huge fan of ours.
You're a
who I
big,
was like,
you're a big dude. So,
Yeah, man. So
did,
everybody was scared. Any slightly violent move like that, everybody was like, "Oh my god, security cam!"
did he back down, or did he like pretend
was-
like he wanted some?
He kind of pretended for a second, but he was backing down.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
we should do something to settle this. Like,
I
are you and that
100%.
guy? Is he still not really? Does he
He's
really
an
not
idiot.
like you?
He doesn't. So we should make a big dude. We could easily get like some shit going. People would love that.
He really doesn't like you?
He's an idiot. Yeah, he really doesn't like me. And he sells like a salsa. Maybe we should go and like just talk shit about his salsa in front of the grocery store.
Is it
he
good?
live?
Is it good salsa?
I don't know.
You
I don't
haven't
know.
tried it?
I haven't tried it. It's I think it's a sauce. It's a sauce or pasta sauce. It's like a
That's niche, dude.
it's a
Salsa
pasta
would've been
sauce.
a-
Yeah, I think he lives in Chicago.
Dude, how much pasta sauce can one sell?
I don't know, man.
Well, the
We'll
pasta
see.
sauce I buy is like $10, and I mean Rios or whatever, and like
Standard grocery shelf
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
So
But,
that's
like,
probably where
that's
he's
a
at.
lot
He's
for a
trying to
jar.
yeah, he's probably right around there trying to sell that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's selling it to women, and
Exactly.
women know their way around a kitchen and around a pasta better than us men. I'm surprised. I haven't bought pasta sauce, I think, ever.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I fucking.
Yeah. Now that I mean, my girlfriend loves to cook, and she's from Texas, so she cooks all the time. Like makes like TikTok stuff she finds that day, and it's just like phenomenal.
Wow.
It's tough to cook while you're giving her all those orgasms.
Dude, it really is, you know, but we make it work. Yeah, dude. I saw your family owns a construction business.
Yeah, Julio. Yeah, Julio is he's a builder. He was a builder. He's a hillside specialist in
Is
Los
this your
Angeles.
pops? Okay. Did you ever do any of that?
Oh yeah, I had and if we're on douchebags anonymous, I got to give a shout out to the biggest. He's the fucking king douchebag.
Is he
Julio
really?
Dottavio. Well, yeah, he was like a womanizing kind of a South American Italian dude from New York that would pause movies and tell me where the guy was doing well with the chick.
Oh wow,
Actually,
dude.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
like-
Gone with the Wind?
Yeah.
You know the scene where the guy just drags the chick up the staircase?
Oh yeah.
His dad paused it like, see, that's what you got to do.
Clark
If the
Gable,
bitch
man.
says no, just drag her up the staircase to your bedroom.
Oh my god.
You know, it was a different time. But no, he would.
Have you seen The
he would
Accused
say,
with
you
Jodie
know,
Foster, the pinball
Not,
scene?
I don't
okay,
think
not the
that-
pinball. He did not pause the
You get
pinball
all your
scene.
friends. You get all your
It
friends.
was not the pinball scene in the fucking.
Have you seen Deliverance? You pause that.
No,
you oink
dude,
like
no,
you make him
dude,
oink like
no.
a pig.
So I'll tell you what though, it was mostly stuff about like being aggressive in the shape, like trying to go up to girls and talking to them. He was kind of a big guy that made me realize that the numbers game, like with chicks, was
Sure.
kind of the way to
That's really what it is
to
too.
kind of attain women was try to talk to a lot of women.
So he was the game book for you.
He was the game book for me, and then being like a romantic, he kind of instilled that in me, like that being a romantic is important.
That's awesome, man. Because a lot of people don't learn that, and I'm sure there's some bad to that too. But like, dude, my pops didn't teach me anything like
Yeah.
that. I don't
Mine
know,
either.
and I don't think he knows how to put that knowledge into words. You know, that's like a
Which is, I'm not sure that's necessarily a bad thing.
no.
Leo, you would
I
say
think we're
that
both-
there's
there's-
been some downsides.
There's
to
been some
come.
downsides to both. Yeah, of
I
course.
can make
I think-
out with any chick in here.
yeah, exactly, dude.
Me too. Huh?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
No.
me too.
You
Yeah,
did?
well, not. I wrote "You need my big dick" on a girl's Instagram, and then
See, Bryson
it
and I
was
wouldn't
back
have
in
done
my. That was my peak douchebag days
I
in
don't have a
college.
big dick to say
I
that.
don't either. I
You
definitely
need
don't.
my super average size dick in your life.
So it was college. I was probably drinking with the boys.
Yeah.
So it came out like she kept it for all those years until I was on I was 32 on The Bachelorette.
Wow.
So she put it on Twitter, and then one of the girls on the show put it on her story.
Oh,
so
no.
that's So there's like solid evidence that I was a douchebag.
Is that why
100%.
you made it? I think week 7 it said, which
Week-
seems pretty far.
It was. I was 5 of 31.
Wow.
But no, this all came out after the fact.
Okay,
After
good.
the fact, yeah.
You got to see him on The Bachelorette. He's a different guy.
Oh really?
It's like,
I mean, dude, you look like I don't know, like just ideal Rico Suave, just like
I was playing a part,
modern day
you know?
Casanova looking dude.
He's playing a Disney prince on the
I was
show.
playing a Disney prince with a lot of coaching.
That
if
too,
may.
I could see
You
that.
know, the sunset's beautiful, but it pales in comparison to the beauty of your face and your soul. And your soul. I see myself settling down with you.
You said that?
Raising
I
a couple
said-
of kids. He's
there
a
were
different
things like
guy.
that.
He's a different guy on the
Different
show.
guy for sure. If you want to have a laugh, you can look at the highlights. They're on YouTube.
God, I can't
they're
wait.
It's funny.
It's pretty funny. Yeah.
Do you ever repost them on your stuff?
I should. That's
You should
funny.
put
I
them in
should.
reels and repost it.
I should. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. I don't know why I haven't done that. You know why? Because they flag it, dude. I've tried to put like a
Really?
little clip on YouTube. Yeah, ABC's like on that shit.
Even
man.
on like Instagram and TikTok?
Not
TikTok,
Instagram
you
though.
Could get away
TikTok
with it
you
for
could probably
sure.
get away with it. Yeah, I should.
Fair use, you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all those television companies are probably so paranoid about losing all of their audience to the internet that it's like MLB was doing that too. Right?
They are still doing
Like
that.
a
Yeah.
lot of those old legacy media companies and channels just get so paranoid about getting consumed by the internet, which is happening anyway.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
they're really over aggressive with striking.
Baseball
and
has
copywriting.
done that.
Same with like jokes and stuff. Like I mean, if there's enough like backlash, they will fucking cancel you
So
and
lame.
kick you off of everything. I mean,
lame, dude.
the only person I didn't see that happen to is like Chappelle, but like, who's that big to like be uncanceled like that?
Well-
and they tried their damnedest with him.
It seems like we're moving in a better direction now. I mean, Joe Rogan, they came after him pretty hard.
They did.
It bounced off him. But also, you're right.
That's
a guy
true.
like Chris D'Elia got canceled, and Spotify pulled the episodes of
Really?
Chris D'Elia on Joe Rogan. I thought
Oh,
it was you who
really?
told me that. So Netflix edited him out.
I heard that.
I think
he's still selling out theaters.
Right.
He's still making. What do you think? 70, 80 grand a weekend?
I would say over 100. I calculated it, and then I calculated the capacity, and it's over 100.
Bryson
Most of the
calculates.
places.
Everybody who's been canceled, Bryson calculates their ticket sales. I love D'Elia though. I saw him.
He's
recently.
one of the he's one of the first people I saw live, and he's one of the funniest comedians live. I don't think his
Live.
specials
Dude,
do him justice.
You're hilarious.
Agreed.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
so funny. I feel exactly the same, and he's one of the first guys I saw live too at the Laugh Factory. Like,
Yeah, same. I
12
used
years
to
ago,
go
13 years ago,
and
man.
watch him weekly with my one of my or like an ex-girlfriend, and like he would murder, and he would do
He would murder, dude.
the
Crowd
Russian
work
the
and
Russian bit. I love the Russian bit.
The
and,
Russian
like,
bit was the best.
I love. And at one time I was like, do the Russian bit. He's like, nah, I don't want to do that one, and just went into something else.
I'm sure so many people asked him to do the Russian bit, but he would say that Russians were the only people that like you gave them a present and they'd be like upset. They're like, you give me a job to do? I have to unwrap this?
Yeah.
And he said that they can't like smile and they keep their head down. So they drink their coffee. They have to like tip over to drink their coffee.
Yeah.
In order to keep their head down.
And even
It's
at Disneyland, they're unhappy. They're like, "Fuck you, Disneyland."
Yeah, dude.
And
Yeah.
like,
He had some great
we're not
bits.
doing it justice.
No,
but,
we're
like,
not. Yeah.
It's interesting about D'Elia though, because I was talking to Leo about this. I think that the medium stand up through a screen is really unforgiving, and I think the comedians who tend to be funnier on Netflix and more watchable on Hulu or Amazon with specials tend to be like philosopher comedians. Where
Yeah.
there's an idea behind their material too. But then again, there's guys like Jim Gaffigan or Brian Regan who are hilarious on specials also, who don't have any profound truths to unveil. I think with D'Elia, it's true though, like something about his stuff is that it's very like it's going to be different every night, very improvised based, and there's something about his energy that's just so funny.
Yeah.
When you're there and
But
feeling it.
it's really not improvised too. Like I've watched these and like I see him do them.
Yeah.
And he just is so good at making it look
Sure.
like it's improvised.
Yeah.
And then also
true.
like, I don't know either, because like there's plenty of people, and sometimes I see his clips, and those are doing really well. But like the specials on Netflix just didn't do him justice, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because like I've died laughing, and like.
Yeah. His podcasts are great too.
Oh, podcast clips are so fun. Oh, he wears sunglasses. Why are you wearing that? Because my future's too
Yeah,
bright.
He's the
Yeah,
best,
yeah,
dude. He's
very funny on
I'm
pods.
wearing mine because it's Douchebags Anonymous. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
something you were talking about though, the act of making something seem like it's improvised.
Yeah.
Him and I were talking about that because I saw Louis C.K. live.
Oh, one of the best.
I saw him on this last run. I actually saw him at the Dolby where he recorded a special. But then he also put out a Madison Square Garden
Yep,
special.
which I watched.
Yes, and a couple of the moments in there where he, like, when I saw him first live, he misspoke, and he had a joke about he meant intrauterine device, IUD, but he misspoke and said IED,
Yep.
improvised explosive device, and he made it seem like that was an error of speech, and then launched into a bit about an exploding thing that makes a girl not get pregnant.
Yeah.
But he did it twice, and he perfectly does it, both at Madison Square Garden and at the Dolby.
Yeah,
so
and
this
one of them was a mistake, and then he just redoes it.
he probably maybe made that mistake in a New York club 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then integrated that into his act.
He's so good. I've never seen him live, but like also sold out Madison Square Garden
Yes.
this year after being canceled.
Yes.
So you can get comedians off of TV and film because they're worried, but like you cannot, because like the stadiums are gonna be like, no, we don't want those millions of dollars. You can't. I mean, somebody told me Bill Cosby's going on tour too. I don't know
I
that.
would not be surprised.
Portland, the theater where D'Elia was getting like they had some protests brewed up in Portland, and the theater responded to the people on Twitter, and they just said we don't book people based on the content of their character. We're just if you don't want if you don't want to see him, just don't come to a show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
They
so
said that.
They said that in Portland too, which is pretty dope.
Very.
To think about.
They're known as like being progressive, very left.
Yeah. Cancellation starting to fade. It used to be that you could get the Andrew Tate treatment. You could get totally kicked off all social media platforms, coordinated.
Yeah.
You have to be giant for that to happen, though. And if you're that big, Alex Jones, Andrew Tate,
Trump.
you're probably already rich as it is. But now, even if you get deplatformed, there are all these new, like, now there's so many podcast platforms. You can start focusing on Instagram Reels. You can go on Twitter where they're not going to deplatform you. And then again, in 5 years, there are going to be new platforms emerging. I agree with you. I think cancellation's kind of done. And, I mean, unless they assassinate you, unless you are running a blackmail fraud that involves an island and a giant brownstone in New York, and your name's Jeffrey Epstein, and they kill you.
Right.
You can't really get canceled.
Like,
Well,
or if you
Jussie
go to
Smollett,
prison,
though.
like
Yeah,
then,
prison,
then,
actual
you,
prison,
then like you just like that's the ultimate. Like, there's no putting out content from prison.
Sure. Yeah, Leo, you
about
might,
Jussie
based
Smollett,
on the
though?
stuff you did when you were in college, you might
Oh,
be.
yeah,
You
dude.
might
Jail
be,
time?
Yeah, there's some
Fuck
stuff.
outta here,
The
dude.
statute of limitations.
Yeah,
is like
you were at
20
a
years.
frat at UCLA, buddy. So
Oh,
I
were you
know-
really?
Yeah,
That's
so
where I went to
where the real-
undergrad.
Hell yeah, dude. Me
Yeah,
too.
hell
What year
yeah.
did you graduate?
I think it was 2014 or 15.
You were there for all 4 years?
No, I transferred in. I did
transferred too.
community college. I went to OCC, then SMC for a year, and then transferred in.
So you got there in 2013?
I got there, I think, in 2012.
So you and I overlapped for a year.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
You
yeah.
might have seen me. I used to take my dog to school. Like, he was a boxer, and he was like technically my service dog. And I was like, I mean, he was like, I legitimately like had the disability, but like,
What was
I
the disability?
function without him. Like, I mean, I have like PTSD rating
Shit,
from
okay.
the Marines. I have like back and knee issues. But honestly, it gave me more anxiety bringing him to class. But like, I had done it already, and I just like, he loved going with me everywhere. So I was like, fuck it. But I thought originally, as a douchebag, I thought like, I'm gonna get so many chicks bringing my cute dog to class. Oh
yeah.
But really, I just felt like the weird dude with the dog at school.
Yeah.
But we made it work.
I think now having dogs in really strange public places like restaurants in Los Angeles are like it's okay. So I think
okay.
I don't think
think
it
it's a
was like
status
that
symbol.
10 years ago. Yeah, it was almost a status symbol.
It
It's
is
like,
a
hey,
status
I'm so cool. I'm allowed to do this.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
I thought that, but and then I
Definitely not 10
flew
years
everywhere
ago.
with him. I flew with my dog and my cat. I made her an emotional support animal, and I would fly first class, and like her first few flights, she was screaming, and they were pissed rich people
cats
around
do
me.
not like traveling. My
She's
cats
cool
hate
now.
it. Oh, really?
Yeah, now, but she's flown so many times that she's just cool with it. Yeah.
My cat now is okay in car rides. At the beginning, he would cry a little bit, but now he's just
Your cat's
sleeps.
so cute, man.
Thanks, man. I love him.
The ragdoll,
It's
Persian smush
it's,
face,
It's a Scottish fold.
Scottish fold. Yeah.
But Persian smush face.
Those
really
are
cute,
the
too.
ragdoll
cute,
and
yeah.
Persian smush face. Those are both pseudonyms that Leo has for various blowjob girls. Is it ragdoll night, or am I getting Persian
Persian
smush face?
smush face is my favorite. To be
Yeah.
honest, she really knows how to gag on it, dude.
Nice tits. I mean, her face is a fucking mess, but nice
Yeah, that's
tits.
part of the smush face.
Yeah,
Yeah, is the
it-
tits.
Well, thank you for your service, though, Bryson.
Hey, thank you for
thank
that,
you for your
man.
service,
You really
brother.
don't hear that a lot in LA, so thank you guys
Yeah,
for
of
that.
course.
No, we're big on that, man. Appreciate it seriously.
Thank
we
you
have
guys,
we
man.
have a disgraceful Marine. This guy Fan Jerry who hangs out with us, and he was
God.
dishonorably discharged.
For drugs.
That's not
I'm
true.
guessing drugs.
Well, that's not true.
He was honorably discharged.
Honorably
I
discharged.
made that up, and I think most people believe he was dishonorably discharged.
Okay, so
now.
it was honorably discharged, but yes,
It's kind of hard to get dishonorably discharged. You have to. They're big on no drugs, so that's one way. And then even then, you can write your congressman, and if you get enough letters on your character, you can get it reversed.
wow.
Yeah. A couple of other things. Okay, so we also have the douchebag daily double, which is where you tell the douchiest thing or one of the douchiest things that's ever happened to you, and then one of the douchiest things you've ever done.
Okay, Jesus.
Yeah.
Douchiest. Well, I think I already talked about mine. I used to write comments like "you need my big dick" on girls' Instagrams. Pretty douchey. I'd say public douche. Yeah, that's a heavy public douchery. That's a lot. That's a big. I don't know. That's a high level degree of douchebag to do it in public. It was just the guys I was hanging out with. I went to a really kind of shady high school. And I was around a bunch of baseball players,
Yeah,
and
man.
like
It's
these
the culture.
dudes, the culture. The baseball guys I knew were some of the shadiest gentlemen
Oh yeah.
I've ever seen to this day, and we're talking.
It's like the Marines of sports.
Oh yeah. And the Marines are like the ultimate douche frat ever.
We would go to parties, and if you could have sex with a girl, it was like 5 points. A hand job was like 3, and a blow job was like another 3 also. Hand job and blow job were equivalent.
That doesn't
So
make
we
a
would
lot of
have
sense.
we would try to like get who was the winner at the end of the night with the most points.
I think the biggest douche was the guy who made up that point system.
Honestly, yeah, it was 5-3-3. It was so stupid.
In what world is a girl touching your dick the same as her putting her fucking mouth on it?
Right, I know, it's bullshit, right?
What are these horseshoe? This guy's a big horseshoe fan.
Had to be
Yeah,
to completion. Had to be to completion. All of it though. None
All
of it
of
did
it?
not count if it wasn't to completion.
Dude, so you can never score like more than like 10 points a night.
Yeah.
It was if you makeouts were 1 point, guys. I forgot to say that.
Okay.
If you really save up your rounds, maybe you could score more than 10 points. In a
what's
night, but
what's
you
the
can't
most?
jack off
What's
that
the
way.
highest score anybody's ever gotten?
No, but yeah, it was 10. Somebody had sex with 2 girls one time. It wasn't me.
Wow.
To be honest, yeah.
At the same time?
No, one and then the other later.
Would have been a lot cooler if it was the same
At
time.
the same time, yeah.
The douchiest thing that's happened to me might have been last night, where we were talking about this before we came in. A fan of ad of the show, like huge fan, knew my middle name, knew everything about all of my videos. While I was taking a leak, 5 minutes before I go up on stage, I'm on deck. I'm taking a leak. This guy
God.
puts his phone over the bathroom stall wall and takes a video of my cock.
How did you notice?
Somebody else in the stall told me, or somebody else in the bathroom told me.
Oh my god.
And then I, like you, Bryson, very average in the dick department.
Yeah.
And also, when I'm not chubbed up, when I'm not ready, it's looking pathetic.
Same. Tiny resting penis
not
over
good.
here.
Not
like Greek
good.
statue style.
Not good, dude. And yeah, like him and I are at the fucking gym in our jiu-jitsu. I'm never getting naked and hopping in the shower at my gym, dude. No, those Brazilians.
Bro,
rolling
in the
around.
Marines, you have to shower together, and
Yeah.
it was traumatizing as fuck. Everyone. And then, like, the first time... Sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
So-
I'm curious. I'm curious. I love dick anecdotes.
Okay. The first time, like, they make you get naked online as part of, like, the brainwashing. Online means everyone's lined up.
Yeah.
And there was one dude, like, covering his wiener. And the fucking drill instructor, like, oh, they're like, what the fuck are you doing?
What do you do this for a video?
100%, dude. I didn't know that. This is fun.
Oh,
Now
bro.
I want to be what is it? A sergeant? Who would
A
be
drill instructor.
A drill instructor.
Yeah,
Wow.
those dudes are not. And then they make you run to the shower. Then they, all right, wash your left arm. You got 5. Then they count you down like 10 seconds, but they count the 10, 9, 8, 7. You should be. And everyone goes, done, sir. And like you're running out like half soaped up, fucking crazy shit.
Why was the guy covering?
I got like because he was just like. He just felt weird with like standing at attention with his dick out.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And the drill instructor's like, "What the fuck? Put your hands down. You're making me think you're some kind of fucking weirdo."
He probably said F.A. and
Oh yeah.
It
Would
was
they
probably
say
a
that
homophobic
word?
slur.
It probably was, yeah.
Yeah,
they
There was
do.
when I was in, it was don't ask, don't tell. You could not even be openly gay in the military, and I'm not like 60 years old.
I don't mind don't ask, don't tell. I feel like the idea that we're wokeifying the military, that's the one place where it seems
Shouldn't be.
extraneous. But were there dudes, make me feel better, were there guys with like certified micro penises in the Marine Corps?
There were,
guys?
yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
It's always
And
a percentage, man.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
So this is my thing.
yeah.
We're way off topic right now, but as a guy with an average cock, all you hear about are guys with huge cocks because women they don't speak about guys with average cocks because it's
Right.
not out of the ordinary. Why bring it up? You only hear about big cocks, and the guys with tiny cocks are too insecure to be out there doing anything. So you have this bias that every guy your girlfriend is hooked up with is a fucking 10-incher, and it can make you insecure.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories where there are guys out there with fucking 2-inch dicks.
Yeah.
Because then you guys out there somewhere in the middle of the pack, you
Which
can
is
hold
most
your
of
head up
us.
higher. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
And porn obviously makes you insecure about your dick because
Very
like
true.
nobody's like clicking on the average dick dude fucking banging away. You want to see.
Yes. Which is one of the reasons I stopped watching porn.
I did too.
Nice.
Have you read or watched The Great Porn Experiment? Great TED Talk.
Okay. I basically whatever it tells you. I'm sure the thesis is don't watch porn. I've already done that.
Our
so I
brains,
feel like I don't have
our brains aren't meant for that,
Yes.
and it'll affect your erection later. Like in
That's a given, yeah.
yeah, which is crazy. You wouldn't think that.
Does it say that if you stop watching porn though, that your erection will heal if it's been damaged?
Yeah, pretty much. It says like.
What's going on, man?
Well, because I jerked off to porn for like fucking 14 years straight every day, so I'm hoping. I have noticed that my cock's working a lot better.
Good.
Though.
You can also do Kegels, but it's not called that for men. But it's like that muscle that you use to cut off the pee stream. That same muscle is what a woman uses to make their vagina tighter, and we can use it to strengthen our erections.
Good.
Oh, nice.
Fucking, that's for you guys.
Hell yeah.
That's
And
a
the cat.
douchebag thing,
Also,
dude, right?
sorry I interrupted the dude fucking filming your
Yes.
cock over the stall.
He filmed my cock over the stall, and then, dude, I was being so cool to him. I told him I was going to go get him merch out of my car and give him merch for free.
For free?
Super nice to him. And so when I asked him, like, hey, man, can you delete that? I saw on his phone that he was seconds away from posting it to Instagram,
No.
first of all. But he was being a dick about, like, he was like, nah, man, I'm keeping it. Get away from me, dog. Like, he turned into this adversary all of a sudden. And so my mind was blown at how big of an asshole he was being. I had to just steal his phone away and yank it. He was not very big, so
And this guy also has no idea the
know.
stuff you're capable of doing.
He
to
should know because he's seen him roll with people
That's
in
true.
videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's seen like all of our videos.
Were you rolling for real? Like I haven't seen those videos.
We've done
You
some.
roll.
He did,
up, like
he
you're-
rolled, like,
'cause you
the-
roll hard. Like,
Sometimes, yeah.
Like there's people that will roll light and like you'll roll, which I respect, and I'll roll hard with you. But like,
Yeah. But he's probably seen me rolling. But the last thing I ever want to do is fight somebody.
Sure.
A legal headache. Fucking
yeah.
police. Fuck that.
Also, yeah.
But so I went up on stage with this guy's phone in my pocket, and like half my set ended up being about like, hey, who's good with an Android? We're gonna clear the fucking memory.
It was hysterical, dude. It was
And
hysterical.
go in the recently deleted and clear that too, right?
And we found a guy who did all that. The kid,
Good.
all he needed was like 20 minutes to sober up, and he went back to being nice again. We all got it worked out.
What
But
a creepy thing to do.
Yeah.
really fucked up.
I'm sorry you even had to deal with that, dude.
No worries, man. The douchiest thing I've ever done, though, dude, I still, like, in my last relationship.
Or one that you're comfortable saying.
Exactly. Like, in my last relationship, there were so many douchebag moments that I regret. Like, I've matured. My last relationship was 3 years, and it was from when I was 29 to 33, which for me has been...
That's a long time. That's my longest ever.
Yeah.
3 years.
Same.
And that's, and I don't know, something about, for me, the age 29 to 33, that was also from when I went from basically living paycheck to paycheck, working shitty jobs, to being like a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So much had changed in my life. And the things I did early on in my relationship and even midway through and at the end of my relationship were super douchey, and I regret, and I really hope to change in the future. But the most douchey thing that I can tell about tangibly was when I was at UCLA. I was at a date party with a chick who was on the swim team.
What is a date party?
A date party is when you're in a fraternity and you take a date to the house, first of all. Everybody pre-games at the house. Chartered buses show up in front of your fraternity house and take you to a bar in Los Angeles to get more fucked up. And then...
And everyone has like fake IDs to get into said bar.
Exactly. I took a swimmer girl who was super hot. It was really cool. But while I was at the date party at this bar, some other chick came up to me and started talking in my ear about how, like, if we were to have sex, how good it would be.
Oh, God.
And, of course, my pupils are getting bigger and bigger.
Sure.
My cock is getting harder
Your
and harder.
frontal lobe's not fully developed yet.
I start grunting, start scratching my armpits. I start cooking up a story to the swimmer girl about, baby, you know I got that history exam, not next weekend, but the weekend after that. I really should hit the books hard tomorrow morning. I'm thinking I'm going to be up at dawn. So I walk her up to her dorm the second the bus hits back at our frat house. It's like 10 p.m. I take the first bus back. And then, of course, once I walk the girl to her dorm, I'm instantly coordinating with the slut about meeting me in the frat house library.
Yeah.
And then I have sex with her there, even though I was like basically dating the swimmer girl.
Did you later on get the swimmer girl too?
I'd already had sex with the swimmer girl. Her
so-
and I were kind of talking. But I was, at that point, I had just been dumped by my first girlfriend ever.
Yeah.
And I felt as a lot of guys do, when a relationship ends, you feel painfully insecure.
Right. And we're also taught or told, like, the best way to get over one is to get on top of another. So we're perpetuating them. But it really makes you feel even shittier a lot of times.
Totally. Exactly.
It's more about, I guess, working on yourself, right? Would you say?
Yeah, man. I've had to do a lot of self-work.
All of us.
It's crazy, dude, because, like, when a relationship ends, the girl, you're not going to be able to compete with her in terms of who can have sex with a bunch of hot people the
No
quickest.
way.
'Cause
Not
a
even
girl,
close.
A girl instantly can fuck whoever she wants.
Yeah.
So I feel like a guy, even if his life is going pretty well, is gonna get he's gonna be more receiving pain after a relationship than the girl is.
Oh, yeah. And so I have a master's in psychology. Guys actually take longer to get over women than women take to get along over guys. Women actually know, like, way in advance when they're going to break up with us, and then they plan it and do it, and they're already, like, on the healing stages, whereas, like, it's proven that we take much longer to get over it.
Yeah, and it's funny because right when you break up, it always seems like the guy is the one that's happier right at the beginning. But then as you slowly see it play out, what you say is true. Like the guys start being like they're not over it yet,
Right. And we hide that shit.
And we
Like,
hide
we're
it,
taught to, like, suppress all these emotions, to not talk about it. Your friends are like, well, let's go out. And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, there's still some issues with male culture for sure.
Dude, like my breakup's still relatively fresh. It sucks.
I'm sorry, dude. That's
Like,
the hardest things to go through. One of the hardest things.
yeah, it makes me not want to. It made me think that if I'm going to get in another relationship, it better be my last relationship. It better be the chick I marry,
bro.
because breaking up sucks.
I'm with my forever chick right now, dude, and it's so great. And I've never been in a relationship that's so chill, so easy, so just smooth and, like, supportive. And, like, also we read Attached together. I don't know if you read a lot of books. Great fucking book on
attached together.
Yeah, it's just called Attached.
Attached.
And it's the science of that will help you keep and find love. And it's ultimately about our attachment styles and how, like, the dating pools are full of these avoidant people, which one of you guys I was actually both of the bad ones when I was younger, anxious avoidant. But avoidance, they like their freedom, they keep distance, they find, like, one little flaw to break up with a girl, and then they often romanticize the one that got away. So this
That's
book,
been me. I feel like that's
been you.
Yeah,
you're avoidant.
That is you.
Hasn't that been that? Oh yeah, it's not you.
No, it's definitely
It's
you.
not you, dude. It's not you who's
Well.
not. So you're Leo. You're not the guy who's not. You're not the guy who's got a wandering eye in a relationship and then who romanticizes the girl after the relationship's over. That's you too.
I do like to romanticize the woman after she's. Yeah, it's fun though. I like to have a perpetual broken heart. I always tell everybody, you work well with a broken heart. You know?
Yeah, I mean, well, comedy and pain plus time is comedy.
Acting. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Pain plus time is comedy.
So that's an interesting insight. This is an interesting conversation. I've also read that it's easier for men. This is, I guess, comforting to us guys. It's easier for men to attain their mating goals than it is for women, and that is a tall task for women who have a finite amount of time while they're in their reproductive prime to find the guy they're going to be with forever. That's tough. We have a lot longer of a rope, us guys.
It seems it's very difficult. I've seen it in playoff and the people that I know from high school, for example.
Sure.
A lot of them ended up dating some people in their 20s that maybe everyone knew they weren't going to end up with, and even they didn't. But the next year came along, and they were like, "I want to stay in this comfortable state. I want to stay in this place." And then now, they're all a lot of girls I went to high school with are single at my age, 35, 36, and I'm having a great time right now, but a lot of them seem a little depressed, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, yeah, they have the biological clock countdown. Also, like, we're more attracted to replication traits, and they're more attracted to survival traits. So, like,
So small cock doesn't matter, baby.
it's if you can supporting, and that's arguably can be more scarce in a way. Like, and it's more on, like, the person versus, because looks. You're just born that way. Like, you're a lucky dude. We're all pretty good looking
we're all
dudes,
lucky, dude.
and we're fucking lucky, man. Because when you look at the evidence of psychology, like, better looking people get less prison sentences for the same crime. They get treated nicer. I experienced it during the pandemic.
We know this.
When you had to put a mask on, how different it felt.
Yeah.
Like you didn't get like the
Yeah.
pleasantry.
The pleasantry of being like a guy with a good smile, for example. You have
Yeah.
like a really nice teeth. Like
Thank you.
everywhere you go, people would notice those, and it's disarming per se. But
Yeah.
that was gone during that. That's an interesting point. And also, didn't you find out how a girl could go? Her figure could be fantastic, but her face, just that portion of the girl's face,
So important.
is so important right here, dude.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah, one thing I totally agree with you. Like good-looking privilege. We were at an open mic the other day, and there was a handsome black dude who was like 6'2", in great shape, great smile, talking about white privilege, and sort of like playing like the woke angle, like I'm black, therefore I got the short end of the stick. I was like, dude, you know how many people in this room? You know how many of these fucking 4'11" Jewish guys with a beer belly would fucking kill to be you?
You, yeah.
Like you handsome big black dude. Like
Yeah.
good-looking privilege supersedes all.
It's true. I've definitely had good-looking privilege,
It helps.
privilege my whole life, and there's a part of it where it's very depressing for a man to grow old. I think I've seen it in my father and his father before him, both handsome men. That as you age and you don't get the same attention from women that you always have, it's a thing you got to deal with. So I think that's something in my future that I can be vain, just a little bit, right?
Oh yeah. I mean,
just a little bit.
that's why you got to find your person, man.
I got to find my person, man.
And the person you have the most fun with, because the looks eventually fade anyway. I mean, within reason, like you have
Within
a
reason.
standard, but like
Sure.
if they fit within that, then like
Yeah.
then it's all personality and
Got some
support.
decent mentors as far as like these guys that I play softball with that have like
Oh, like the guy who goes to the dominatrix to get his nuts spanked.
yeah, because those guys, there is a guy that goes to a
Pizza
dominatrix.
party?
Oh, what's that?
I'm on Pizza
Yeah.
Party
Oh, you're
now.
on Pizza Party now?
Yeah,
Damn,
and you're
dude,
not
I
on there
'cause
anymore.
I got a gig on Thursday
I know,
nights.
which is a great gig. I love
good
Jimmy.
gig, yeah.
I took him with me, featured in Saturday in the Desert, and he fucking murdered.
He murdered last night at the Haha. He had a really good
Good.
set.
Yeah,
Good,
They
because
like to-
his sets go either way, and
Mm-hmm.
you know quickly
Yeah.
which way they're gonna go.
Our
Yeah.
fans seem to like
Our
his stuff.
fans, there's no material that they'll be offended by.
Right.
So
Good.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking
It
about
shouldn't be.
a comedian Jimmy who does a lot of like rape and murder and incest heavy material.
Yeah.
When
Just
he's
like
doing that,
molestation, pedophilia. Yeah.
like he'll do it at his Thursday show, which you do on the West Side, which is full of girls who work in the HR department at like Apple or a big tech company.
Yeah.
Those girls probably not like it, but our fans who work at an auto body shop. Who are 25-year-old Latino kids? They can't get enough of the rape.
Fucking
jokes.
love it, dude.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. What do you think about your fan base? Like, what is it that attracts these? Because it sounds like you know your fan base pretty well. And what do you think it is about you that's attracting this individual?
It's hard to know because we see the fans who live in LA,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
they
yeah.
tend to be predominantly Latino and younger. But I'm sure it's mostly the same age group, and they've got a lot of the same, alcohol
Z.
problems
Some
and,
of them,
and professions. Yeah, Gen Z. But also, it's a lot of older people watch our channel too.
Yeah.
They just probably come out to shows less because. But our main demo is like 18 to 35. There are also 40 and 50-year-olds. But I think. A lot of it is just that we work hard and like a lot of our stuff's really high quality, so that's going to attract people. But there is the irreverence, the lack of care about social norms that
I think
attracts kind of a
that's-
radical kid.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We do what we think is going to be the funniest thing in the moment. And it's kind of like what you do maybe with your buddies, like when no one's filming, right? You try to go for something that's really going to make you guys laugh, what we think is funny.
Yeah.
And they see
Which is
that.
often some of the funniest, like the
Yeah.
hardest
Yes.
laughs you've had is just when you're with your buddies.
Right.
And it's
Outside
is.
of a comedy show.
And it's
outside
the
of a
least
comedy
PC laughs too. Like
It can be the least PC
Yeah.
laughs.
Like,
I mean,
and that's,
dude.
that's the thing about YouTube is like our sense of humor is so much more offensive off camera.
Yeah.
But you can't I was hanging out with some of my buddies in SF recently who all have tech jobs. And dude, it would if that conversation we had at a taco shop over beers was a podcast, the channel would be deleted.
Right.
Because it was so many trans
Oh, yeah.
jokes and race, and it was all jokes. It was all in good fun.
Right.
But that kind of stuff, it's the same at a comedy club when you say something just when you riff a line that's really inappropriate,
Oh, yeah.
the audience explodes in laughter, and it's involuntary
Yeah.
because the taboo is so attractive to us.
Yeah. I riffed the submarine joke and I posted it today.
Damn.
And
Nice.
yeah.
That was funny. I saw that.
Thank you, man. I was just like, yo, how good does it feel to not be on a submarine right now?
On land, dude.
And there was a dude being like, too soon, which like fucked me up a little bit on my next parts of the joke, which would have done better if
He
I
was,
just.
he was being serious?
Yeah, he was being serious.
I mean, I can't believe they got in that goddamn thing.
Underwater Mariner Lives
Dude,
Matter.
that's so
Dude,
crazy.
Danny,
And
I
then
can't believe they got on this thing. This
No.
thing was
I
like
know.
breaking down.
And an
know.
hour after I posted that joke, I saw that it like combusted, and they're finding like pieces of it.
Right. So then
Dude.
it just exploded. So wow.
I mean, I guess maybe better that it combusted versus they ran out of oxygen slowly.
I think it's a way faster, smoother death for sure. Yeah.
Dude, it looked like the cabin where they were all huddled up was literally the size of your couch over here.
Yeah.
And they were
It's a big couch. Don't worry,
on
guys.
top of each other.
Yeah.
Were they on top of each other the whole time?
It was just like flat too. There's no seating. There's no anything. It's just I would never fucking get in that thing.
I don't know if I had, dude, Danny, if me and you were on the boat and it was Mr. Beast and he was like, hey guys, I'll get your ticket. 250K, or your dumbass.
yeah, you guys
would have
would go.
made me do it. I would have said, I don't think so.
God.
I
And
would
we
have been
wouldn't
like
get to
stunt
see the
coordinator.
footage. It would have been the best footage.
He would have wanted the footage. He would have done it.
Dude,
Hey, you
we've
would've
some
done
shit.
it.
We've gone into caves. I've gone into a cave.
I didn't
where
go on this one, though.
I was flat on my belly. It's called the pancake squeeze, and I couldn't turn my head because there were stone walls on either side.
No way.
Trapped. I went skydiving at the place statistically that's had the most fatalities of any skydiving place.
And you almost had a huge
Is it because
accident.
the winds?
Because they're just incompetent. And
They're incompetent.
I almost collided with the photographer midair.
Yeah.
So I probably would have got on that submarine.
You would have,
if
dude. You
Mr.
would've.
Beast tried to get me on there.
Mr. B. Okay, he's the YouTuber that just like buys crazy shit.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
flies people out to do it. He's like one of the most successful YouTubers,
The
right?
most.
100%, yeah.
The most successful. I think he's a billionaire. We're getting
A
close.
billionaire?
It's gonna be
Because of all his channels.
His channel
huh?
is worth close to $1 billion. Or they offered him $1 billion for his channel.
How do you know
Who's they?
how much?
He said it was some
The
company.
WEF?
I don't know who it was, to be honest. But he talked about it on some
The
podcast.
Jews? Did the
Probably
Jew-
the Jews.
did the Jews offer him a
I
buck?
could see the Jews doing that.
I think there's a high chance that somebody involved in the deal was Jewish, just statistically.
Oh yeah, yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah. I'm 30% Jewish, so look it up.
Damn.
yeah.
Were you in on the deal, Bryson? Were you trying to buy Mr.
Dude,
Beast?
I wish, man. I didn't even know I was Jewish till I was in my 20s.
Damn,
Which-
that's sick, dude. That's a good come up. I wish I could find out I was Jewish.
I got 2%
It felt like a
Ashkenazi
come up.
Jew.
Hell, yeah, I'm 30% Ashkenazi Jewish.
30%'s legit.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
29.7
I
technically.
think you
but
get birthright. You should go to birthright.
I did go to Birthright.
you
That's
did?
awesome.
Yeah, I have a whole bit on it.
That's awesome, dude.
And I have crosses tattooed on my back.
Oh, my God.
2 crosses.
That's from the Marine Corps days.
yeah. My first
Marine
my
Corps
first
tattoo.
tattoo when I was 18 was a cross.
That's a great. I think a cross is a good tattoo because when are you gonna really regret a cross?
And
I
Jesus was a
regret
Jew?
the crosses.
You regret the crosses?
I don't believe in like institutionalized religion. I believe I'm more like a pantheist, which is another thing I wanted to get into, like
Does
mortality
that
and
mean,
what you
does
guys.
that mean you eat pussy and suck dick?
Yeah, I do. Little taco sausage time. No, pantheist is the belief that everyone and everything's actually a manifestation of God. So this table, you, me, we're all just like little pieces of God type thing. It's very Alan Wattsy.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
I get
I don't want to believe that, but that's what I believe from some heavy psychedelic trips when I was younger.
Nice, dude.
With the ego dissolved, or
Yeah.
do you guys have any experience doing psychedelics?
I've done shrooms maybe 3 times. I don't think I've ever taken enough to really affect me. But the last time it was kind of like we are stardust is
Yeah.
kind of what I kept. Like we are stardust, and really nothing really matters.
Why don't you
It
tell
really
us
doesn't.
about the In-N-Out,
Which is
the
sad.
In-N-Out
Which is
box
sad.
story?
The In-N-Out box. Yeah, so with that, so right after doing shrooms, I think it was like a week after. Well, there were 5 people in a van, and we all had eaten In-N-Out, and you know the stench of that trash can be quite
Yeah,
gnarly. So
I
we're
like
driving.
that smell.
It's, I mean, you know, it got old because I think I had a nice binge with the animal style. If you haven't had animal style fries on a long road trip, not the best idea. Anyway, I said, hey guys, at the end of the day, everything's stardust, and I opened the window and I chucked absolutely, I don't know, about 5 pounds of trash out the window.
That's what psychedelics.
But
that's the level
that's what the psychedelics got me to that point. So I don't know if it helped much, but
You fucking litter.
I love that story, dude. Leo's the biggest slob.
it was all cardboard and wrappers. It was going to
Biodegradable.
biodegrade very quickly.
Hey, they have religious verses on the bottom of their shit
Exactly.
too.
It's all
Hey, from dust to dust, baby.
Yeah, that's
right.
funny. Cool, man.
But you wanted to ask about mortality. I like that.
Mortality. Yeah, yeah. What do you guys believe?
I believe in God, and I believe that I'm Catholic, and I think I got to repent at
Yeah.
some point, you know. And
So you believe if you accept Jesus into your heart that you're going
truly.
to heaven,
I got to really,
and that even like the worst people, as long as they ask for forgiveness, murderers, rapists, they'll be forgiven.
Yeah, you know what? I see that could be something where people might be confused. Like, can everybody get into heaven if they really truly? But you know, I think about putting myself in somebody else's shoes. Like,
Sure.
I don't know why
You can change.
You can change, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why you would kill someone, but if you did, maybe I don't know why you did it, but if
Right.
I was in your shoes,
Well, he was in the Marines. That's why.
you know what I'm saying?
I was getting
Well,
paid to do it, dude.
there's that.
It's
yeah.
kind of my job.
That's your job, yeah. That's wild.
No, I didn't
don't-
kill anybody.
You didn't kill
thankfully.
anybody. Thank
No.
God. dude.
Yeah. Which
we-
I think fucks you up a little bit.
There was an LAPD cop
Yeah,
that
for sure.
when I was at Waterworld, the stunt show, there was an LAPD cop that would come teach us shooting, like the proper technique for movies and stuff like that, so you don't look like an idiot. And this guy told us, he was like one of the best, marksmen in the LAPD, and he was telling us that any cop that shoots anyone, even a gang member that's raping someone, 99% of the people that kill someone on duty are just relegated to desk jobs and never want to be in the field again. They're just have to go to therapy
Yeah,
consistently for killing someone. Only 1% of them can go have lunch right after. There's a certain there's a certain person that
I
can just
served
kill
with some
someone.
of those guys.
They're sociopaths, psychopaths.
Dude, I would much rather kill a criminal in the act of committing a crime than I would an enemy soldier. Because the enemy soldier,
Just doing what you would be doing.
he's just doing what you're doing.
Yeah, Right.
He's probably a good kid with a family, and he just got maybe he got
give him the
drafted. He
choice.
might be there completely against his will,
him
and
the
he might
choice,
be
yeah.
terrified, dude. Fuck killing an enemy soldier compared to killing a gangster who's raping a chick. I'll take that every time.
Yeah, no, of
I
course.
love these scenarios you painted, but
Well,
yeah.
that was his.
Oh, that's what the cop told us. It was a gangster raping a chick. But,
Okay,
but the thing
yeah.
is, even about that, like I don't know what it's like. Killing someone must be just insane. Like
Yeah.
you're hearing sounds you're never going to hear. and
Have you ever
it's-
hunted animals?
No.
I stopped hunting
I did
when I was a
too.
kid. I wasn't into
It
it.
doesn't feel good after you kill them. It's fun right before, like even right when you shoot, like you get this adrenaline rush, but then after you feel like a sense of sadness. And I think it's because like we're all part of consciousness, and I don't know, deeper
Then-
level of that.
Then again, dude, it's been a long time since I've hunted. I agree with you that like it doesn't feel good. But if I was eating the meat, because I eat a ton of meat anyway, if I was killing an animal and then spending the next 2 months eating its flesh,
Yeah.
I think I could deal with that.
You still
Maybe
feel
not,
something though.
Yeah.
Because we were killing deer and we were eating it, and like I used to shoot squirrels out of trees with my BB gun, and my dog was like half wolf beast of a dog would go and fucking snatch them up off the ground like Oklahoma shit. And I cried the first squirrel I killed.
You're like Abraham Lincoln, dude. There's
Yeah.
a story that he shot a turkey out his bedroom window and cried.
You cried?
Did he really?
I think so.
Now he's on a penny.
Now he's on a
I,
fucking
uh,
Penny
dude.
for your thoughts.
I don't know why, but I've been fishing and I never felt bad about any stomping out a mackerel.
Have you ever had to
on a
like
deck.
chop their heads off and scale them?
Fish are different, dude. A mammal is in another league than a fish.
They are.
The fur, you know.
And also a deer, when you shoot it, it panics and it tries to get away.
Oh,
A-
dude.
a fish acts the same when it's got a hook in its fucking lip as it basically does any other time. It just flops around. Kinda.
Yeah. And when my first deer I killed, I shot it and I dropped it right there, but it broke its back. And it was just screaming until my dad like got out and fucking
Do you have to knife it?
slit its throat. Yeah, I was just screaming.
Jesus. And he's
fucked up.
used to doing that, obviously, right? I mean,
Oh, like I'd been hunting with him before. Like, I hated hunting too because he'd wake me up at like 4 a.m. and
Yeah.
it was freezing. And when I first started doing it, I couldn't take a gun. Like, you had to go through a hunter safety course and all this stuff. So I was just sitting in a fucking tree stand, freezing my ass off because my dad wanted to hunt.
Yeah.
Which I love my dad. Like, we're cool now. But like, then I was like, I don't want to do this. This is your thing.
My dad tried to get me into fishing and hunting too.
Yeah.
Fishing with him was fine.
Fishing's cool.
But neither of them stuck. Like, you're not going to see me going out with a tackle box to the stream.
Same, dude.
What about what like The Rock does? He catches like little trout in his own man-made lake, and then he just throws them back.
I would be into fishing. I think fishing would be dope,
It's
especially
fun
if I was eating
when
it.
you're catching stuff.
But it just, like, we get busy and we live in LA. Like,
Yeah.
you can fish in a toxic waste-infested lake here, probably.
And not eat the food, and not eat the fish, You could fish. No, I mean Armin catches baby sharks off the Santa Monica Pier. I have an Armenian buddy who catches shark. That's his side gig.
Oh, wow.
Sells them baby sharks. They go for like $600-700 a piece.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's illegal. It's illegal.
It
Completely illegal.
sounds
Very
illegal as fuck.
Your cat will love it, dude. If you have a Shark Tank.
Dude, my cat,
dude.
she is a little savage. She kills all the bugs. She'll like sit at the window if there's a bird and just fucking chatter.
Damn.
Which reminds me of Joe Rogan's bit where he's like, the cat's like, I remember the old ways.
Yeah.
And it's like in their DNA.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's, his stand-up's still good to watch.
I love his stand-up,
I do
man.
too,
A
yeah.
lot of people are like, I like his podcast, but not his stand-up. But I thought both his specials were phenomenal. Triggered and Strange Times.
Dude,
Watched them both multiple times.
I rewatched some of his old stand-up. His improvement's immense. But, dude,
Oh, yeah.
every special I watched from the early 2000s, multiple N-bombs in every special.
Really?
Hard N-bombs,
Oh,
dude.
no. I didn't know that.
All of them, dude. He fucking went for
Was
it
he?
back
Did
in the
he?
day.
What did he call it? The context like he did. I actually have a joke about the N word and how you've heard the joke.
Yeah, I mean, I totally believe that context is super relevant when you're saying any word. I don't drop N-bombs anymore because it's not worth the heat.
He said
but-
anymore.
Well, I have in videos, because
You did?
dude. Well, yeah,
Yeah, he
because
did at the beginning.
in certain contexts, things are okay. Like, you can't tell me that Quentin Tarantino writing a screenplay
Right.
is the same as being in the South and yelling it at somebody out the window of your car.
And also, yeah, there's a bunch of words we all used to say that we can't say anymore.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
And people progress, and I like to think Joe Rogan's not sitting around saying the N word anymore.
Yes.
And like,
But like, the bit was that there are three magic words. There's love, which, like, you say to a girl, it's a magic word.
Yeah.
Cunt, which will make any woman just immediately lose their mind, and then the N word, because
Yeah.
it's like the show-stopping bad word.
Yeah.
And he said it. He didn't say the N word, but that's not hateful. And
Right.
so I don't look at Joe Rogan any differently. But
Right.
he was just. I mean, what I'm saying
Ralphie
is,
May used to say it all the time too.
Ralphie May is a Southerner, so it's a little bit
He
more
probably
insidious.
shouldn't have been saying it.
Yeah. Fucking poor Ralphie May, dude. That's an advertisement for health and fitness, huh?
It really is, dude. Yeah. Cool, man. Well,
I should probably say, but that I'm not advocating the use of the N-word, but I'm just saying that it was a different time that Joe Rogan was just saying it in specials and shit. Like, for posterity. Was saying it, like, in specials.
Right.
Not in a little show on a Friday night in a shit city somewhere.
right. It was acceptable back then to say it in some way,
Yes.
shape, or form, or how he was saying it.
Yes, which was in context and not hateful.
Right. Yeah, because we all remember Michael Richards.
That was hateful.
Yeah.
That was hateful.
Oh my god.
That was crazy.
So hateful.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I think
Flip phone, Laugh Factory.
Oh my god, that was crazy.
It was like the dawn of the age
First
where,
cancel.
where somebody could catch you slipping with a flip phone.
Yeah.
If he would have done that 6 months beforehand, they were probably still with the Nokias that couldn't record for more than 2 seconds, and it was so blurry that you
Yeah.
probably couldn't prove it was him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%, man.
That's wild.
He never recovered, but he is super wealthy.
He's
I'm
so
sure he's
wealthy,
okay.
and he also does the same meditation as me. He does transcendental meditation.
Really?
My instructor actually taught him.
Really?
Yeah, she taught Oprah. She taught like.
You don't want to know what his mantra is, though.
What's your mantra?
See, like we can't even do the act out because.
I was thinking that too. I was thinking about doing the act out.
Which elevates the joke, but who knows?
I meditate too.
Do you transcendental?
Yeah. I don't think it's technically transcendental because that involves 2 times a day, like morning and night, right?
Well, if you went to a TM person and they gave you a mantra and they did the weird little ritual thing that they do, like snap the bird's neck and drink the blood. No, they don't do that. But
Fuck the
there is a weird ritual they do with the picture of the dude that started Maharishi or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and they throw like water and there's flowers, and you bring these 3 flowers, 3 sweet fruits. So if you did that, then you for sure do transcendental.
So that's basically, you asked about my relationship with religion art. I am a Christian in the same way that I'm a transcendentalist meditation guy, in which I'm not formal in either approach.
Okay.
So no, I basically just clear my head, in, out,
breathe.
15
Focus
minutes
on your breathing.
for 15, and don't let my monkey brain take over and start thinking about shit. Just stay with my physical body for 15 minutes in the morning.
That's more of a mindfulness approach, which is great. And just doing that 15 minutes a day is enough to change the structure of your brain and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, I definitely feel different now that I've started doing that. Yeah.
I've yet to really kind of delve into meditation, but
One of the best things you can do for your brain. Yeah, and
I'm
reading.
Sure. Yeah.
I also still pray and believe in a God of some shape or form. I want to be clear. I just don't when you read the Bible and look at the history and the evidence or stuff, I just don't think there's a lot of support. But I'm still I live my life by values, and I still pray. I prayed before I got on stage and bombed last night, and but still good things happen, and I was grateful for that and put that out there too. So yeah,
Absolutely. I'm just grateful to be alive, right? I mean, that's kind of
yeah, man. Well, dude, thank you guys for doing the pod. I mean, we got enough.
Yeah. It was a good time, man.
it was a good time.
I didn't record the first 15 minutes on the Zoom, but thankfully I have that. So hopefully,
Really?
yeah. I mean, we got over an hour already of recorded.
Wow.
Which
You
my
played it
girlfriend
cool.
told me that was going to happen. Yeah, I didn't want to do it because then I don't know. I didn't want to tell you guys it wasn't, but we got over an hour on the Zoom, 1
great.
hour and 5 plus whatever that's got. So.
It's probably great.
Is there
dude.
anything you guys feel like's missing or anything you want to plug?
Cash, money, riches, host sluts, bitches, man.
Yeah,
It's the bottom line.
check out the Leo and Danny show on YouTube.
Yeah.
Check it out. Got
That
a good,
looks
cool
dope.
pod. Yeah, it's a funny pod.
Coming. Hell yeah. Well, cool, man. Thank you guys for
Thanks a
coming.
lot, Bryce.
Thanks for having us, man.